Please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag.
United States of America,
One nation.
nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At least we know it's working. All right. This meeting has been properly advertised and posted in accordance with Public Law 75, Chapter 3rd, 231. Roll call, please.
Mayor Jim Petty. Here. Atenisi. Here. Clark. Here. Dash will not be here tonight. Galloway. I'm here. Heist. Hesse.
Here.
Timbers. Wright.
Here.
And Council President Ritchie will not be here.
Okay, we need an approval of the minutes for September 14th. I need a motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, that's an all in favor, correct? All in favor? Aye. All right. Public comment. Anyone in the public have any agenda item comments? This excludes anything listed for public hearing, which I actually
Which there's
don't think-
nothing.
There's nothing this week for public hearing. So if anybody has anything to comment on that's on the agenda, please do so now. Anyone at home? Okay, seeing none, we will move on. We have a presentation from the Neighborhood Preservation Program update. Mrs. Adams.
Hi,
Good
thanks for
evening.
giving me a minute of your time. Is there a place that we can share this to everybody?
Oh.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess.
There might be an easel in the back room.
Make it-
In the back closet. You want me to just hold it? How about I just hold? Can you see it on the TV?
Like. turn it a little bit more
Yeah, that way, the
That way?
other way.
Towards the TV.
Yeah.
Keep turning, Jack.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
So the NPP has been working with Cindy Williams design team. And we've actually had a few meetings with all the stakeholders and we're ready to roll it out. We wanted to get council's blessing, let us know what's going on. Right now, we are focusing on the NPP district of the avenue. Commercial properties, not residential yet. We're hoping that if we have enough funds at the end, that we can move to residential. Right now, it's the focus for the commercial, because a lot of people come into town and their main complaint is the vacant buildings, the deterioration of some of the buildings, and we want to try and fix that and spruce it up. Cindy Williams is helping us. She's going to come in. She's offered to speak with each business owner that's interested, one-on-one, discuss a design plan. At this point, we're talking about pressure washing and painting, awnings, signage, possibly windows and doors. Anything more extensive than that, we would be asking the business owners to kind of do like a match thing. You know, say they want a fancier door or something like that. We're asking the businesses to kind of match us those funds. That way it gives us more funds to help more businesses. On October 18th, Cindy Williams is coming to City Hall and we've put out many flyers and talked to business owners and asked them to come and hear Cindy's proposal, see her her display. She's got all kinds of designs and samples online that she showed us at our stakeholder meeting of what she can do with businesses. And just painting and cleaning them up looks amazing. It really is. So at that point, we will have an application for the businesses that are interested. They'll fill out the application. It'll go before the stakeholders and we'll kind of figure out where the businesses are kind of falling. You know what I mean? We don't want to do one business on the 100, one business on the 300. Like we will kind of want the biggest bang for our buck here. So at this point, I gave you each a sample of the flyer that I have passed out to the businesses and their letter. I don't have the application together yet, but I will have that by October 18th. I know a lot of businesses are already starting to get quotes and prices on their own, which is wonderful. And we ask that if they do have them, that they send them to the MPP so that we can review them. Really, we want to wait for this meeting with Cindy Williams because she's going to be our designer. She's going to not instruct, but kind of coach us into what colors would work best, what kind of signage would work best, what kind, kind of signage we need to take out to work best. So we are kind of, trying to get the businesses to hold off for that meeting. Again, it's an MPP, is a state funded grant, which we all know doesn't move very quickly. So the business owners have to have patience with us moving forward with this project. It's not gonna be, you give me a quote, we'll give you the money, it'll get done. It's gonna take time. The MPP right now is looking at the next 3 years. We have funding for MPP 2023, 24, and 25. And we have funding from those 3 years to clean up the street front. So I just wanted to let city council hear what's going on, see some pictures, and hopefully this all works.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you for your time.
Yep, thank you.
so much. Thank Mayor's report.
Okay, I'm gonna do
You
the
have.
police report first because the chief will not be here tonight. Her daughter's sick and she's caring for her. Crimes and offenses, 2 burglaries, 2 narcotic activity, 2 simple assault, and 5 thefts. Traffic related, motor vehicle accident 6,
And-
pedestrian stop check 3, traffic stop 25. Total summonses issued 12.
That's right.
Thank you. Alarm business 7, alarm residential 4, crime prevention activity 186, criminal mischief 2, domestic 8,
Bless you.
EMS incident 30, firearms application 4, follow-ups 10, property checks 493, and public service 8, which is a total of 756. Lieutenant Perna completed his arson investigation school. And 1 officer is taking advanced roadside impairment classes. And 1 officer is in annual in-service. And that's the chief's report. Also, we have a resolution for number 14, I believe. It's a proclamation for knockout opioid abuse. We usually participate in this every year to support join together Atlantic County to raise awareness about opioid abuse. So we'll come to that when we get to that, right?
Yep.
It's declaring October 6th knockout opioid day.
Couple things. The flowers, flags, and corn stalks are up for the upcoming fall festivities, I guess you would say. We have the 100th anniversary of the Atlantic County firefighters on the 7th, coming through Philadelphia Avenue in a parade and heading to the Lake Pavilion. So we want to spruce up everything. The scarecrows will be up next week. The flowers and flags and corn stalks obviously are funded by the NPP grant. That's one of the things that they do. And we had several volunteers out, my husband Michael and my son Michael, Kim Hess, Rich Hess, and me. And I think that was it. So the scarecrows are funded by the Mayor's Wellness Campaign, and that's me. So hopefully I'll be able to get at least 2 up next week. I'm gonna work on maybe a firefighter and a police officer. The chief Kinsley is trying to get me some turnout here for the firefighter for the parade. So that's upcoming. Also, Ryan is assisting Jonathan Satcher, the one that has the tower site and is planning a movie studio there. He's assisting him with the grant that came across my email, Film and Digital Media Studio Infrastructure Program. And that will assist, hopefully if he gets it, will assist him in cleaning up the dump that's out there. We did have the dump tested. It's only kitchen trash. It's not hazardous waste or anything like that. No contamination, but this will help get that project along, and which it should be it's moving pretty quickly now. Also, grant wise, I spoke to Jake about the request of the city council and the city clerk to possibly put the grant in for ADA compliance at City Hall. And he said he thinks that's a great idea, and he'll have a proposal for us soon. Also, it looks like we may have not have gotten the American firefighter grant. However, not everyone's been notified yet, but we haven't been notified, so some people have, so we're thinking we might not have gotten it. So he suggested that we reapply. The deadline for that's coming up soon for next year. And he said usually if you keep submitting, eventually they're gonna give it to you, so he'll have a proposal for that too. if you
And which
think-
one was that for fire?
That was for this, yeah, the pumper truck, 600,000. I know Ryan's not here, but we're gonna need a estimate for the $400 ADA grant that we got, $400,000 for the lake. We really have to get moving on that, because before we know it, it's gonna be spring, and, you know, maybe if we have a decent fall, we can get some work done in the fall. Also, the playground on Buffalo Avenue, we do have a contractor for that. Jody, were we able to do anything else about that?
No, I just wanted to double check. I know they sent me the quote. I have to just verify and then we can do it. I have to double check if it was one of the co-ops we were part of.
Okay, and I want to meet
But I
with
do have that.
Ryan at the playground to decide where it's gonna go. There's a possibility we may have to move that gazebo. I asked Mace if we did have to move it, if he wanted it, he said no.
Get rid of it.
But we will put it to use somewhere. We
Yeah.
could probably, I think you suggested the lake possibly, somebody.
Somebody did, it wasn't me,
Oh,
but yeah.
Kim suggested the lake,
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's a nice little
Where's the
fixture.
It's in the playground.
playground.
There's, I don't know how that's gonna be in the, but how's that gonna be in the way though? That's like
It's
all the way on
pretty-
the other side.
well, No, it's pretty big, because if you look between the seesaws and the sliding boards,
Uh-huh.
there might not be enough room between there for the piece of equipment we ordered. I mean, it's a $30,000 piece of equipment.
What equipment?
It's handicap accessible.
Oh.
It was like
I
a,
get it.
it's like a unit type. It's
I
not like one little piece. There's, I think, several.
Oh,
Jody, you don't have the picture, do you?
let me
I mean, cause
No.
look, I'm just thinking, cause that gazebo really don't take up that much room as it is, it's only 4 foot by 4
Well,
foot.
that gazebo,
Is that-
yeah, that's it. Can you put it up on?
Yeah, let me share my screen.
That gazebo that's there, the brown one,
Uh-huh.
that's pretty big. I mean, it's not
Could we
small.
put it over here at Rotary Park?
Rotary Park doesn't want
Doesn't want it, because I know they didn't want the
They don't
one
want
in.
Can everyone see that?
it. Can you see it? So that's what it looks like. So it's pretty big. I don't know
Uh,
what the exact measurements are,
I got you.
but
Might be
it's
about the
kind
same
of big.
size.
So
What are we taking out?
nothing. We're just adding. That's why the gazebo may have to go. I'm calling it a gazebo, but.
That
And
thing
that-
right there?
And that's ADA,
Yeah.
so are they putting,
That's a gazebo.
hard paths
That's like
in?
equipment.
No, no, no.
Or is it
that's
still gonna
placed
be-
in.
Oh,
Jody has the quote.
That thing looks
Yeah,
huge.
so
I don't
I'll
know how
bring
that
that
thing's
up.
gonna fit in between the,
Well, Ryan did measure it.
Oh, yeah?
before, but
maybe it just looks bigger on, maybe it's not as big as what.
Actually, this looks like it's state contract, so when we do the state contract resolution, I will update it and make sure this is on there, so we don't have to revisit that.
I think
Let
this
me
looks
give you
huge,
the
because it
measurements.
doesn't look like there's, because I don't even think there's, between that,
No,
with
it just
seesaw
says
and the. fence,
5 to 12 age playground.
You might have like 15 feet, if that.
Now that's wheelchair accessible?
Well, now I know where it's
I
going, that's why I was
Yeah.
confused.
I'm not sure.
There really isn't a lot of room
It
there.
has to
It's gonna be tight.
It has to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if they're not, there's no way you can push a wheelchair through that mulch or whatever it is there, they're gonna have to
Yeah.
put in
Yeah, I'm
hardscape.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
in order to be able to get them up there, or even kids that walk in crutches, that's more.
We'll figure it out. Like I said, I wanna meet with Ryan on site. So that he can look at it and go over it and, you know, we'll review that a little better. I'm sure there's changes that could be made if necessary.
So we're talking about where the planners are, right?
Yeah.
That would be
Yes.
where the planners, not the
Planners
one where
and
Where the
the.
squash was built, where the squash was playing.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I constantly keeps bringing it up.
I couldn't believe it.
So then.
My whole football team's chasing each other, beating each other with squash. I'm like, where did you get squash? I'm like, over there. I'm like, over where?
And
Yes,
then,
sir.
we should also be going after quotes to upgrade the electric at the lake since we have the money and it could, before we know it's gonna be spring.
Before, yeah,
And
before the
if
ground
they
is
can
too hard
do-
to,
If they can do any of that now, while we're not snowing or anything like that, it might.
Well, now would be the time because once that ground gets frozen,
Yeah.
it's
it's gonna be a
hard to.
nightmare
under.
trying to get anything through.
So Jody, can you try to get a couple quotes for that electric or you're not ready for that yet?
I mean, I would have, as soon as that's fine, I have to go to bid.
Yeah, there's Ryan, I guess it's a big project. I don't know what.
I'm
Maybe
not-
we can prepare for the next meeting. Angela, are you on?
Mhm, she's on. You're muted, Angela.
Yes, I'm here.
So we could ask Ryan to put something together for the next meeting.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. And then I'm not gonna talk about it, but I guess everybody knows now, we got $1 million grant from the, a forestry grant. I know Nanette's gonna bring that up in her report, but I didn't make mention of it. And let's see, the other thing, we did have a coalition for safe community meeting that we're exploring different options for the program, possibly incorporating South Lake Harbor in it. And, that should be finished by the end of December. We had a municipal alliance meeting, that's going well, they're planning some events for drug prevention. There's many good suggestions today, the chief was on the meeting. And then I guess the last thing I want to talk about before I talk about one of this right here, my paper, the Rick's Power Plus, we really have to get moving on that. Angela, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you.
Okay, Meg, we have to set up, a meeting where we can put it out for bid.
I think, Angela, don't we have to first get a,
Was that-
Appraisal. we have to get an
Appraisal.
Appraisal.
Right, we do.
Well,
But he's not.
Should we could either get George to do the appraisal
Well,
and
George,
then put it out.
George probably will do it as a favor to Egg Harbor City, but he doesn't do that within the scope of his contract as a realtor for us, because he is not going to be selling the property.
I'll look up the last property we did and see who we used, I guess. Do we have to go out
It
for
was
quotes for an
probably-
appraiser?
It was probably George. Or we
It was
let-
George. For the last properties we did a resolution and we hired George to do the appraisals.
And we paid him,
I
Angela?
don't think so.
No, because he's ended up selling the property, so he waived his fee.
Wait, I have a question. When was it decided that we were selling the property and where did that
Well,
go
Keith
through?
decided that
We
he.
did talk about it, I think. at a meeting.
Conversation.
Oh my God.
Because the last I heard, and I did miss I think. the
Okay, I
last
think we
meeting.
talked about it at the last council
Okay.
meeting.
All right. And
So
can
the
somebody,
conversation's going towards, and I think Jason was gonna talk about it, Matt Casey, Eric Jones building, needs to see what we've done to the building. And the conversation is gonna go toward what we're gonna do with it. I think.
I have a report on it tonight.
Okay. All right, we'll wait for Casey's report.
okay,
All right, so last thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to, and this is just for city council right now tonight. I'm gonna hand out a performance culture survey. It's self-explanatory, just circle your answers. It is anonymous. Please do not put your name on it. I'm gonna hand out whoever's here tonight. I have you all written down, and whoever's not here, I'll make sure you get it. So I should get 9 back from city council. There'll be a box in, City Hall by Monday, maybe Tuesday, where you can fold your survey and put it in there. This is in prerequisite to doing my strategic plan. So it's important that you measure the, corporate culture, as they say. So y'all would fill that out and if you want to hand it in tonight, I mean, that's up to you. You can give it to Meg, she's gonna look at it. But, you know, if you feel uncomfortable, is that everybody?
I promise I won't look at it. We're making a box.
Everybody have one?
Yep.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Council Committee Chair reports. Let's start with Councilwoman Galloway, since you have the biggest news.
We got news last week that we were awarded $1 million grant from the USDA Forestry Service. Yesterday, I attended a webinar to find out more about how the money's going to flow. And our share, $1 million, this was part of a $1 billion allotment of funds distributed throughout the United States. It was funded through the Inflation Reduction Act. The USDA requires help from organizations that work with trees all the time, like the foundation and things like that. So our share of the money is coming through one of 12 pass-through partners. We don't know who that is yet. I'm hoping it's the Arbor Day Foundation because they have great programs already set up. We asked for 1.4 million and we were allotted 65%. So we're getting $1 million, and everybody who applied had their budgets cut. And so we're not having to, what they call right size our grant application or our budget. It's a 5-year grant. It can be sped up. We could spend it all in 1 year if we require that, but we might want to look at keeping it for 5 years and doing the work piecemeal. The work includes maintenance on our aging street trees. That's the biggest part of this grant, is that these trees that have been here for 80 to 100 years need to be trimmed, the healthy ones. Some of them need to be taken down. There's not too much money for replanting if that wasn't the goal of the grant. But we will provide a match for any road projects that we do. We'll have a little match in there for trees so that the city can address the trees on those blocks. If they need to come down and be replaced, the money will be there for that. We're also going to monitor Lincoln Park and Current Field across here. We might do some tree plantings in those areas. And we're going to be doing a report on invasive species such as the spotted lanternfly host plant, which is the tree of heaven. They're all over the place. They grow up at sidewalks. There's only a special way that you have to get rid of them because the roots just travel out. So if you cut down one of these trees, they're going to pop up everywhere. So there's chemical treatments that have to be investigated for that, and hopefully remove some of them on private and public property. So what else? It's a reimbursement grant. So when we spend money, we just submit it and they reimburse us. And they're concerned that the people of the federal government are concerned about the shutdown. They said that might delay us getting our allotment of funds. And they're also concerned about clawbacks from some members of Congress who are trying to squash the Inflation Reduction Act. And so if you can advocate to keep this money where it is, it'd be great. But they feel pretty confident that, and that's why they rushed the announcement. It wasn't supposed to be announced until October 1st, but they rushed the announcement to put it out there that everybody was getting their funds. Let's see what else. I think that's it. We're really excited about it. My colleague, Michelle Post at the Press of Atlantic City, wrote a really nice article. You probably have to search it. I didn't see it in print today, but and she quotes me as saying, I've been involved with tree plantings for 8 years so far and got planting grants from the state. And I just said, we were always waiting for a maintenance grant to come along, and they just don't do that. They want you to plant trees. They don't care about old trees being maintained. So when I saw that grant that was available, I jumped on it and said, we have to apply for this. And I was fortunate that the team that worked on the program, we went for it, you know, you gotta reach for the stars and you just might get the moon. So, we got $1 million. It's so wonderful. I'm so happy.
Good work.
So that's all I have. Do you want other green team stuff?
Yes, go ahead.
We're next Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. I think, yeah, it's 10 a.m. at the Union Hall. We're going to be hosting green teams from the Atlantic City Electric coverage area who are getting grants, and we're one of them. So we'll be awarded a grant there for, we're going to refurbish the Sybil Shaller gravesite and that little area on the north side of the lake. And I think that's it. We had our meeting the other day. It was good. That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. The one thing I want to say, because everybody, you hear people say, oh, well, the city got $1 million grant. Why are our taxes still going up? Why do we have to our taxes go up to pave these streets? The city just got $1 million. What people have to understand is that $1 million is directed towards forestry replenishment. We can't take from that to buy a dump truck. We can't take from that to pave a street. We can't take from that to pay health benefits for our employees. It's specifically for forestry rehab. And a lot of people don't understand that. And that's where people struggle with, well, my taxes are going up, but we're getting these grants for this, that, and the other. What they're specified for is what they have to be used for. So I just wanted to say that, to make that clear so people understand, because my husband asked me the question when I said, oh, we got $1 million grant. He's like, oh, well, cool, then our taxes aren't going to go up. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. So I just wanted to specify that to help people understand a little bit. If you don't understand, ask one of us. Call City Hall, talk to one of the girls. Not every girl call City Hall, but you know, and we will try to help you understand how that works.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
I think that this Inflation Reduction Act is really a jobs act. It's designed to create jobs. So when we hire a contractor, Tremont Trees, we got an estimate, 2 crews, 4 guys on each truck. And that's a lot of jobs that don't exist today. So that contractor, whoever it may be, after we do our bids, will be able to hire people and put them to work. The other thing is the grant would not pay for equipment. We wanted to get a lift for the Public Works Department, but it won't pay for that. It will pay for at least a lift from a company that does that. So it's creating, that's the inflation reduction area, is that it's creating jobs and helping businesses thrive. So that's the main purpose of it. So.
And Jody is very creative with using grants to figure out how to use them in the best way that it doesn't come out of our budget, that it does come out of grant money. So kudos to her for that, because she does it all the time.
Creative.
Mason?
No.
Yes, Councilwoman Antonisi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. For school board, I just wanted to mention, just on the topic of school, that it's back to school time. And everybody needs to make sure that they're paying attention to the kids. I see people flying up and down Buffalo. I live a block from the school. So just a reminder to please pay attention, please slow down. I know everybody's in a rush, but you know, just save a little extra time and slow down before somebody gets hurt out there. Additionally, everybody's sick. So make sure you're washing your hands, make sure your kids are washing your hands, keep them home from school when they're sick. It's out there. My whole family's sick. So just make sure that you are taking care of yourselves. And then for parks and playgrounds, I wanted to touch on 1100 Deer Street. I went through with Keith the other night and viewed the building. First off, Keith and his team did a wonderful job cleaning up the building. It looks wonderful outside. It does not look like the same building. I actually drove past it and had to turn around and come back because it's so cleaned up out there. It's not the eyesore that it was. So great job to Keith and his entire team and all of Public Works. I know there was some discussion towards trying to utilize this building towards Public Works. It's my opinion, and after walking through and talking with Keith, that this building is probably best being offloaded. I think everybody should take some time and think about it. But first and foremost, the roof is in total disrepair. It's going to need a new roof on the whole building. The electrical there is piecemealed together by the previous owner. It's a huge fire hazard. All of the electric in there would have to be redone and evaluated by an electrician. There's add-ons to that building inside, like a sleeping quarters and what I would call like a pole barn garage. I doubt that any of that is up to code. That's all going to have to be evaluated and probably fixed up if we ever wanted to use that building. It's unsafe and not to code. Plumbing would have to be redone. There was already a break-in at the building where copper was taken, so plumbing would have to be reevaluated at that whole building additionally. A security system would have to be put on with a good alarm because there are people breaking in and taking the copper out of the building. Keith had the foresight to evaluate if an ambulance would fit in there. Potentially an ambulance from Galloway could stage there. An ambulance wouldn't fit. It does not fit vehicles from Public Works at this time, so the doors would have to be redone. For something like a Public Works vehicle, you might be able to fit a pickup truck in there. That's about it. I think the money that we would have to put into this building is far too much than what we need it for. And we should move forward, in my opinion, to evaluate offloading the building and taking those next steps forward. I know Keith said that if anybody wanted to view the building, they could discuss it with him and take a walk through if you wanted to look at it yourself. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Councilwoman Clark, ordinance.
Nothing really, as soon as football dies down a little bit, Mason.
Yeah.
I will be scheduling an ordinance meeting, with the committee.
Okay, I have nothing for Public Works.
Yeah, until about Sunday.
Yeah.
And then
And Councilwoman Pesci.
I just wanted to repeat about the Halloween parade for the Rotary. That there's a registration box in the lobby here at City Hall, and there's forms to fill out. And it gives you all of the information on the parade. Again, it is October 27th. It's a Friday. The step off is 6:30. And things have changed a little bit, so it will be good. It will be wise to, take a look at the information on the form. It's also on our Facebook page as well as on the Mays Landing, Egg Harbor City Rotary page. So if you want to, it's all there.
how do we, can we just show up or do you have to?
So, well,
But now, since we had to cancel our games last week,
okay,
they got moved to the end of the season.
okay.
Well, that game is now on a Sunday. So the kids will be free that Friday to be able to do the
Oh,
parade.
great. Oh, that's terrific.
So, cause I'll just have practice Saturday morning rather than.
Just
have
fill out one
them
of
on
those
Friday.
forms.
Is that for performance, you said though?
That's for,
Anything.
well,
Performing.
that's for everything. I
Oh,
just,
okay.
if you're going to be in it, just.
I'm sure the
fill it out.
cheerleaders are probably,
Yeah.
The cheerleaders are definitely, yes, not the, just the senior ones, the varsity are, yeah,
yeah, okay,
the others are not.
okay.
So what do they want to do? Do they want to go
They just walk.
individually, just walk?
Yeah,
Yes.
they were walking
And they
basically as considered, just like we always did, but usually. Was a hit or miss every year depending on, cause usually when the Halloween parade is the first round of the playoffs.
Okay,
So it's tough to get off that Friday night to be able to do,
sure,
the parade.
sure.
That's why we used to do it Saturday nights, cause we would play, whether we play Saturday or Sunday, our games are usually over and they can walk with.
Okay, the only reason everybody was to fill out the form is so that they saw where they were to line up.
Oh,
So you
okay.
will be lining up on London Avenue.
Yeah, that's where we used to just meet here and they would just throw us in line, so.
Yeah.
I didn't
so-
know if we had to fill out a form this time or not.
Well, you should only for that reason. I was just having them, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
So, and it's also at, what time, 5:30.
5:30 lineup?
Yes,
Oh.
and yes,
Hmm,
and the
I
route,
know.
and the route is actually going to be in the opposite direction this year. It's the same as the Christmas parade was last year. So it's actually going to go from London down Claudius, and then a right on Philadelphia, and then up, going to also be a right on Arago, and then another right on Liverpool. The only thing I wanted to ask the chief was, are we going to have, when they're going to start the work on Liverpool?
Yeah, I thought we did ask that, remember?
I-
Ryan would probably
That's
know
what I was
better
gonna
than the chief.
Yeah, I
So
figured
you should give Ryan a call.
I will. Yeah, and I'll find out, but I mean, everything else is going to be the same, it'll either go down Liverpool or it will go down London. And that's the route, but there's actually 2 different time starts, so the floats and everyone else, I call it, because they will be at 5:30. It's floats and vehicles will be on Claudius. Everyone else will be on London, and on Liverpool, it will be the performers and the bands. So, and the performers and the bands will be lining up at 6 o'clock.
What about
And-
the big contest?
What's that? And the contest in, yeah, there's a contest in, in Kern Field. And that's the same as it's been every other year. And that will be at 5:45. And there'll be like lines, there's 5 different things. I think it's 5 to, let's see what it is here. Don, I'm glad you gave me that point. It is 5 and under, 6 to 14, 15 plus, push, pull, small floats, and groups. So there'll be 5 different categories that they'll be judging over there at 5:45. Everybody else that's going to be performing and the floats will be judged on Philadelphia Avenue during the parade route. So, and everything is on the form. So you'll be able to find any information as well as my contact information if you have any questions.
So even if you're not on a float, you should fill one of those out? Is that what you're saying?
You should. I just thought it would be a good, I mean, it's not necessary if you're not going to be judged, but it would be nice just to, so I know that you got the information. And that's.
What's the, I'm sure you probably said it before, I just
What?
don't remember. What is the reason for the change in the route? Because nobody sits down this end?
The reason being is there's 2 reasons. It's to be more, to conform with the Christmas parade, so they're both going in the same direction, as well as,
No, I know, but why do we even move the Christmas parade? Like what was the whole purpose of changing?
yeah, they wanted to go past from Acorn Manor, and, you know, I guess they figured too, they would go down Claudius, and you get to Philadelphia Avenue much quicker.
Okay,
So before, you know, otherwise.
I thought
you have
because
to
nobody
go-
sat down there, because like once they got to that, where
Yeah.
Carmen's is and down, there's like, there's nobody there, so basically like that whole parade was over pretty much.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
thought maybe they were just trying to add like extend it so a little longer.
No, it was for Rittenberg.
During the Christmas parade, we
Uh-huh.
had many, many people that were so thankful that they could.
Sit on their balconies
sit
and
on
watch
their
it.
balcony.
Mhm. No, it makes
People
sense.
could come out and
Yeah.
see it. So
Because usually we
there
would
was
go down
that
Philly
one.
Ave, and by the time, like I said, you would hit like Carmen's,
Yeah, they
Petros's, it was, everybody just ran off. It was like the end of
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
And
that makes
that's the
sense.
other thing, you figured, you know,
Yep.
the children wouldn't be as tired and
Yep.
whatnot. And does anybody have anything else to ask?
All this information and all the events that are coming up are on the official Egg Harbor City Facebook page. Kim and Beck just created an event for the Rotary Parade on there, so check it out. If you
And
can't
it's also in
remember
the
all this.
newsletter, it'll be in the newsletter.
Okay, and it's also, again, it's in the lobby here, and the drop-off box is there as well.
The Fall Fest, did you mention the Fall Festival there? So the other thing is the Fall
That's where I know
Festival is the
one of her places was in the
21st.
past.
It's
I feel like
the 21st of October. 102 blocks, there's a food
You know
truck.
what? Was it 10?
No.
Both of them.
Yeah.
The Economic Development Committee is hosting the 2nd annual Fall Festival. We did move it to October 21st because there were so many other things going on that we couldn't get the participants that we wanted. So last year, if anybody remembers, we had the big trucks come into town and they did the big drive through down Philadelphia Avenue. It was video and it was really cool. This year, we do have a more local truck show. There, at this point in time, we have about 38 trucks coming. We're gonna space the trucks out between the light at the Pike and the 200, so all throughout the avenue instead of just on the end. We're also having, Crossroads is gonna have a mini beer garden set up. Raff and J Ranch is bringing horses for pony rides. We have 4 food trucks. Gennaro's, Waldo's, Enchiladas, they're all gonna be out for our local restaurants. And the purpose of the Fall Festival is to have the local businesses come out and offer a free activity for the community. It's of no charge. The only thing you're gonna pay for when you come to this event is your food. So bring your kids and they can participate in every activity for free. It's just a good day. While the kids are playing the activities, the businesses and organizations have a chance to talk to the adults and really let the community know who they are and get out there. So any business that wants to participate, any group that wants to participate, reach out, email us, we'll get you on the list. It is an event like the Food Truck Festival where it's so large that we do need registration so that we have space for everyone. So if you're interested in, reach out.
We got a game that day in mind.
And I did hear that New Jersey American Water will be here to answer questions.
They had all the little Ducky book bags last year and everybody was walking around with the little ducks. It's so cute.
Yeah, I think the guys digging the holes are tired of people coming out and asking them questions, so they told management, you need to be there to answer questions, because we don't know the answers. All right, CFO report,
Nothing, thank you.
city clerk's report.
Have nothing.
Excuse me, noted something. I just wanted to know, the audio and sound system, have you found any, have you looked into anything?
Yes, I talked to the one guy yesterday that I had gotten a quote from, like, back in the very beginning of last year, so he's gonna update that and make sure, like, if any of the prices change or anything like that. So that way, if it makes sure it's still valid, and I kind of spoke with him a little bit about like our needs, because I had another company come out and I felt like they were kind of very different, so I just kind of want to talk to them. So I'm gonna call the other one back because I really want to like kind of see why they sort of picked what they did, and I kind of want to make sure they're comparable, and then I will
Did they
bring
come
them.
here and look at the room?
They did.
And where's Cameron?
So hopefully it'll be more like in the center, so it'll like view all of.
Okay, so I was gonna suggest, it works best on that side, because then you can see the podium and all that. But if it's in the center, that'll work too.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, we didn't like finalize anything, but that was kind of the initial original like discussion, was that maybe have it there.
I can't wait to,
So,
I mean, that little thing.
but once I kind of have like a little bit more like specific information, I will send it out to everybody. I just wanted to like make sure I understood it before I'm trying to explain it to everybody on council, so, because, you know, I don't really, I'm not an expert either, so I just want to make sure that I understand it enough so that I can kind of forward it along and just kind of make sure it's what you guys all want as well.
One of the towns I covered just got a new system in their meeting room and. they
Was that, well,
Little.
yeah, I did,
tiny
and I actually
microphones.
saw her at the conference yesterday. I was like, they wanted something a little different because they play movies in there for like
Yes,
the people, so
yes,
they,
their
and when the,
library.
yeah, when they,
Yeah.
the guy came, he's like, you don't really need exactly what they need, like they were trying to play movies and stuff. So, but I was kind of curious what their setup for their meetings was like. She's like, I was like, could I maybe come look at it? I'm just kind of curious, you know, I kind of want to see what some other towns like have that, but no, the two that I talked to yesterday, they don't really do exactly what we do. They actually, I feel like we're like pretty lenient, like we let people, two town, Market and Longport. People can zoom in, they are not allowed to comment, they can only call in. They are not
That-
allowed
that
to
causes a lot
participate
of
in the
problems too
meeting.
in the community, because people do want to speak and they can't come.
Right,
And
right.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, honestly, I think it's,
residents live in Philadelphia, so they want to be able. to
right,
talk
that's what, I
and
mean, no, I think it's, I'm not saying we should do that, I don't think that at all. I think the way we have it is, you know, it's fair, like if someone can't come here, they have the opportunity, so I think it's, I was shocked when, I was like, is that even like legal to like tell them they can like be there and can't like listen, but they can't comment? But they said their attorneys had approved it, so anyway, doing a little more research, and as soon as I have something a little more definite, I will definitely
Thank you,
share with
Jody.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, anything else?
I did have one other question for Jody too. Maybe this should go to Ryan. But, did you hear anything about Weisbecker and did any prices come in for Weisbecker? You know?
I don't believe so yet, I will follow up.
I was questioning when it was gonna be put out to bid, and I never did get an answer on that, so.
It doesn't have to be, right?
Well, I'm kind of, well, we're gonna try to do quotes first, and if it comes in enough, that's kind of why we need it
It
done.
was 40, right? It was
So-
40 that person would get.
But when you push that out, I was just wondering. When you pushed it out,
Honestly, I'm just waiting online, like more, like, I don't really know what I'm holding, like, he was supposed to like type me up something, I don't really even know what I'm asking someone for, because I don't, you know, like, I'm not. So anyway, right.
Then he said it was the property manager.
Yeah, I will, and Keith and I actually talked about it a little bit, right, this afternoon, actually, so we can try to get it. like,
Yeah.
done, So,
Thank you.
thank you, yeah, Keith brought that up, so we are trying to get that done, ASAP too.
He's on top of this.
Yeah, so why did he tell me that?
All right, city attorney's report, Angela,
Fine, no, I don't have anything for tonight. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, and Brian McGowan's not here for the engineer's report, so we're gonna move on to number 14, resolution. The knockout opioid abuse day. I need a motion.
Make the motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 15, resolution update state contract vendors. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution chapter 159 USDA Community Forestry Grant for $1 million. I need a motion.
I'll make that
Second.
motion.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Simper's been problem, right?
Number 17, resolution chapter 159 US Department of Environmental Protection Stormwater Map Grant for $25,000. I need a motion.
Question. What's this?
Motions first. We need a motion
I'll
and a
make a
second.
motion.
Second.
I'll make that second.
Okay, questions or comments?
Yeah, what is it about?
So the DEP has this program that you have, there's like a bunch of stormwater stuff that we are like required to do as part of our permit. So they actually contacted, they're like, there's this grant out there, it's literally a one-page application. So I checked with Ryan, he's like, yeah, we'll use it to update the maps that we have to do anyway, so filled it out literally within like, I don't know, an hour. She emailed me back from the DEP, like, here you go, here's your award letter. I was like, okay. All right, I'm like, here you go, Ryan, let's get to work.
So Ryan will.
Yes, those RMV will update the stormwater
How
map,
much was it?
25,000.
All right. Any more questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution chapter 159 Comcast Technology Grant for
I didn't get it.
$12,000. I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Anyone questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution approve amended SRO agreement, school resource officer. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, what is it?
So the school just asked, the guy had been at the same rate for as long as he's been there, so they reimburse us, so it doesn't cost us anything, they just wanted to increase his hourly rate from 25, I believe, to 30. I think it went to 30.
Is this a police officer? or-
It's a-
It's a school resource officer, he works at the school.
And he's one of our officers.
He's
No.
attached,
Here,
they're
here's-
attached to
replace
the
it.
department because they have to turn in their guns, however, we don't pay for them, the school reimburses.
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
He's not like one of our regular, like on our, like,
Well, he's
regular,
still-
you know, full-time officers.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Right.
Okay, number 20, resolution authorizing contract with ROK Industries for online tax sales. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Antonisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Number 21, resolution 100% disabled veteran property tax exemption. I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Questions or comments?
Is this for a specific property or is this for in general?
It's a specific property, council agreed that we should give them numbers, not,
Okay.
but we
Yeah.
can provide that with you. But it's.
No,
it's a
I
property.
just wasn't sure if this was
Okay.
gonna be like a blanketed thing, or if it was
This
just.
was a specific
Okay.
resident.
Okay, no problem.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, roll call.
Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes,
Okay, I need a motion to pay the bill.
make a motion.
Got a roll call or an all in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call?
Atenisi,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Okay. Mayor, do you have any comments?
Just, I would like it to encourage everyone to come out for the parade on Saturday to honor the Atlantic County firefighters. The members of the firefighters association are all the fire services in the county, most of them anyway. And they really deserve this honor. There's a lot going on Saturday. I know there's varsity day at Cedar Creek the same day. And St. John's has their apple pancake breakfast on Saturday, so it's a big day, and I hope everybody can make an effort to come out for everything. But I know that's impossible, but at least you can get out for the firefighters. We appreciate it.
What's the start time?
Well,
12.
What was the name?
And wear your earplugs.
This
There's
Saturday.
gonna be a lot of trucks there.
It's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Yeah.
We can play Sunday, so we'll be.
go ahead.
Councilwoman Galloway? Councilman Wright?
Yeah, just a couple things. Just want to remind everybody that Crusaders Beef and Beers this Saturday from 6 to 9. You can purchase tickets at the door, or you can reach one of me or myself or one of my board members. We're also looking for if anybody wants to donate a basket or a gift certificate from any of the restaurants or anything for the Chinese auction. All the money that we get, like I said, goes back to these kids to keep them in the proper uniforms that they need and maintaining the field and all that good stuff. So the more money we can make at these fundraisers, the more we can do for these kids. So anything is greatly appreciated. You can reach out to myself or Ed Garber City on Facebook or the booster, and anything will be greatly appreciated.
Miss, I won't be able to go, but I will make a basket. like I
Okay,
usually do.
yeah.
Because my son's going to the border for a year and we're having to go on a big party.
All right, sounds good. Yeah,
God be with him, he said.
amen.
Councilwoman Antonese?
I don't have anything tonight. I hope to see everybody at the beef and beer. Thank you.
Councilwoman Hesse?
I just wanted to say thank you to Jackson Sven for the beautiful birdhouses that he made out there at Peace Building Park. They really look nice. And I also wanted to say that on Saturday and Sunday is the MS City to Shore Bikeathon, so be aware. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilwoman Clark?
Just another reminder, in addition to the beef and beer, the Crusaders are also having their second annual trunk or treat. We are getting positive feedback with a lot of people wanting to join. It's gonna be an even bigger year than we did last year. We're also still looking for sponsors and we're also looking for participants. So the more the merrier, we will make room for you. So
Amen.
that's it.
Right, and I have nothing. Anyone from the public have any comments? Come up to the podium.
Oh, she's got a list.
Mm.
Hi, Tracy.
Tracy Mulhern, 314 Arago. I have two questions and I have an idea. Just a question, the gazebo that you talked about last week and this week, that's at the kiddie park? Where is
Yes,
that?
it's at the playground across the street from Sprague.
But there's two.
Oh.
We're
Oh,
talking about Lincoln Park and
I think you're
also
talking about
the-
Lincoln
Oh.
Park.
you're talking about probably
Yeah,
Lincoln
that's-
Park,
yeah, that's
the big
what
one, and the Pike Horse Pike.
You said from last meeting, the one we were talking about, that was Lincoln Park.
Oh, okay, so it's not, all right, so
I thought we talked about both of them.
are you talking about getting rid of the one in Lincoln Park? Getting rid of it?
That's what the
Yeah.
talk was.
Yes.
The boss over there is shaking his head, but it hasn't come, we
You can
did
blame
bring it
it on
up,
nature.
we did bring it up last.
Yeah, so,
We were talking about having a
memorial.
memorial.
Yes, and I think that's a great idea. However, I'm kind of throwing it out there that I really like the gazebo. I think it's like a landmark. Like when I drive home, when I come by they used to call it a bandstand. I found out that was made in 1915. It makes me smile. And, I think it's part of the character of the city, you know, to me, it's like a landmark. It's like, oh, I know I'm in Egg Harbor City, I know I'm West Home, look how cute that is, you know what I mean? And, I just thought if it was the finances that maybe, or even like not enough, resources to keep it maintained, could somebody adopt it like the Kiwanis or like the Rotary Club? Could somebody adopt it to keep it and maintain it? Because I just think it's really cool. It's been there since 1915, and I kind of hate to see it go because I feel like it's a landmark and it's part of the character of our city. And like, you know, you have like the veterans have their events there, and I don't know. I just really think it's kind of a focal point. It's something that gives character to the city that's very unique.
That one
It's not the
definitely
same
wasn't
one.
there.
No,
Right, that's not the same.
that one was.
There
I think-
there was a gazebo there since 1950.
Agreed.
The other
Yeah, yeah,
one
yeah, the other
was
one.
bandstand. They would have bands perform.
This isn't the original one.
That time in
No, but no,
Tracy, I think they're trying to say it wasn't this is not the original the bandstand.
Oh, okay, but it is the one in Lincoln Park.
Yes.
It was originally at Rotary Park. Rotary did not want it anymore, so they moved it over there.
And we tried to give it back to Rhodey and
And they
Rhodey and
don't
they
want
shot
it.
us down.
It's sad. Well, I do have one quote just before it goes, I guess, into the abyss of the memories of the world. I was looking and there was another website that, West Bergen, County, I guess, had a East Lincoln Park. And this guy named John Kent's had a quote, and it made me think about this pavilion stuff. If you change your mind, it would be nice, but I understand sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but. the
It
quote
hasn't
is-
been voted on yet, so
Oh, okay.
there, nobody's
So
mind.
your quote may sway some of us, so.
I just thought it was really cool.
Give us the quote.
So the thing is, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. So I just like to see I just really like that gazebo. I just think it adds.
How big's your
character. I
yard?
think it's kind of.
I think the problem is updating, it's vandalism is the problem. It's constant upkeep because of vandalism.
I think that's what prompted it at the last meeting, there was with the.
The fountain was destroyed and the electric was knocked out and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what prompted everything.
But
Just so
honestly,
you understand.
it's really not, I mean, I know what you're saying, it's always been visible, something's always been visible there, but it just doesn't at this time seem like a good, efficient use of city property. And like I said, it's just that nobody really uses it anymore. Years ago, we had the hometown celebration there. We had German bands that used to play there, you know, all the time. I don't know of any German bands anymore, except there's one in, the Moravian church at the dinners, but it was not a real, like they used to have with the uniform, little outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not really utilized a lot, and that's unfortunate. So.
Okay, well, there you go. So just a quick question, is there any update on the bike lane going down Philadelphia?
Yes,
to
I
the lake?
spoke to that, CME last week, and, they are getting, they have submitted their, changes to Pinelands, because that's really the big holdup. It's the draining, the water draining into the, woods and also, plants like endangered species
Yeah.
and things like that. So they are starting to get comments back from, Pinelands, so it's looking good, not as good as we thought, but they remind me all the time that these are 10-year projects. So unfortunately.
You're
I know, I
9
think
3/4.
we are.
I literally was pregnant when I went to like our kickoff Pineland meeting.
Which child?
Yeah, really.
County Road, Pinelands is a big one. It's just a lot. You know, bridge work has to be done yet. There's a bridge right by where the Jumpers used to live. that has to be redone by the county. Lights have to be, like, poles have to be moved. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And so last but not least is my idea. I was looking around on the internet this summer randomly. And I found out that Egg Harbor City was incorporated on June 14th, 1858. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we had a Founder's Day, like, celebration? Because June, sometimes kind of cool, and like, this young lady has these great ideas for these festivals, like,
June
Founder's
14th.
June 14th
Founder's
is,
Day.
like, that's when it was incorporated, so I figured, call it Founder's Day. And, you know, bring it together.
Well, the good news
Don't you have vacation scheduled that week?
The good news is that we did get a grant for we will have a nice park right where between Weisbeckers and Crossroads and that.
Oh,
lot.
nice.
So
Dedicated
that
that day.
will Accommodate that.
Dedicated to that day.
Cool. June 14th, 1858.
Maybe on the committee team.
That's all, thank you,
It
thank you
gives
so much.
parents time.
Thank you for your time, thank you.
Does anyone else from the public have any comments or questions? Anyone on Zoom?
I have some.
Your name and your address, please?
My name is Patrick Foster and I reside at 452 London Avenue. I'd like to make a statement regarding the keeping of pot-bellied pigs and other related ordinances. I am here today to talk about ordinance. It is ordinance 170-17 and 97-103. I'm here today to provide a comprehensive statement on the matter of keeping my pot-bellied pigs within my residence in light of the city's ordinances. My statement is grounded in factual information and seeks to address the regulations outlined in 97-103 of our city's ordinances, which prohibit keeping any pig, horse, or other farm animal greater than 20 pounds in any residence in the city. Some factual background. It's crucial to establish that my pot-bellied pigs have resided with me since I moved to Egg Harbor City with them in February of 2020, several months before the ordinance in question came into effect in May of 2020. My situation should fall under the grandfathered category in legal terms, as I had already had these pets before the ordinance was enacted. This status highlights the historical context of my ownership and my compliance with the regulations that were in place when my pot-bellied pigs came with me. These pigs have played an indispensable role in my life and my mother's, providing essential emotional support, especially during my mother's late battle with cancer. Her wishes and her deep connection to these animals underscore their significance in my household. In pursuit of clarity, I'm prepared to provide visual evidence that clearly illustrates the marked differences between pot-bellied pigs and the traditional farm pig, otherwise known as livestock. These images serve to emphasize the size and characteristics that set pot-bellied pigs apart as an appropriate and legal pet within our community. I'd like to note the weight discrepancy. Pot-bellied pigs by nature do not grow to sizes that are typically associated with farm pig and farm animals, and also livestock. It's practically impossible to find any breed of pig that will weigh less than 20 pounds. This irrefutable fact underscores the necessity of distinguishing them from traditional farm pigs. I would also like, in a related issue with that, to bring up poultry keeping and the ordinance impact. Beyond the specific matter of pot-bellied pigs, the same ordinance also affects residents' ability to keep poultry, including chickens. This issue extends beyond my family and has implications for many residents who desire to keep chickens for personal use, such as acquiring fresh eggs. The ordinance defines residential agriculture to allow residents to engage in agricultural activities for home use, such as gardening and fruit production, However, it explicitly states that residential agriculture does not permit poultry and livestock and the boarding and breeding of animals. In light of the presented facts and the clear distinction between pot-bellied pigs and livestock, I respectfully request that the Community Council Board consider a revision of the pertinent section of the ordinance to ensure clarity and fairness concerning the keeping of pot-bellied pigs within our community. My statement is underpinned by a commitment to upholding my late mother's wishes and maintaining a loving home for my pot-bellied pigs. Their role as an essential source of support during her battle with cancer cannot be overstated. I believe that this comprehensive statement, founded on factual information, can pave the way for more compassionate and evidence-based resolution to this matter at hand. The ongoing distress and uncertainty caused by the city's actions have deeply affected my family, and I'm simply seeking to live in harmony with my beloved pets. I would also like to bring up the fact that the United States Department of Agriculture does not regulate pot-bellied pigs, as they are not used as a food source and not considered livestock. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I hope for your understanding and fairness in this situation.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. We will speak with our city attorney and someone will get back to you on the matter.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sorry.
We need your name and address first.
If you don't want to give your address, you can just do name.
All right, Keomi Fuentes. I just have a question about the political signs. What are the rules when it comes to political signs?
Are you talking about placement of them?
Yes.
Okay.
The same
Angela,
sign.
do you know the rules for where they can put political signs?
The yard sign.
Yeah, I think it's generally within,
This is
they
a city.
can't be placed, yeah, they can't be placed in a voting area, I think within 200 feet. And generally, they can be placed in a location with consent. If there's no consent, generally they should be removed. But they are specific as to location and feet.
That's during election day, like with putting them too close
Right.
to a polling place. Are you talking about private property?
Yes, I'm talking about private property.
Is someone put
That's what I
them on?
said. I mean, generally, if there's consent for a sign, that's great. You can put up a political sign. Nobody can prohibit you from not putting up a political sign. But if you don't want a political sign on your property, then you have the right to remove it.
Okay. I'll only ask, we had an incident happen this week where a bunch of Republican signs on the 200 block of Washington Avenue, all in front of our property without any permission. Not only just a bunch of Republican signs, but there was another sign there, and purposely, one sign of Republican was put in front and one in back. So I just need to know, what are the rules with the signs? Like, it was a lot. It was like 10 signs, which was ridiculous.
Like I said, you can remove a sign from your property if you don't want a sign there. If you want a sign there, you can place it there. If you believe it's put there improperly or with any kind of malice or fraud, you can file a complaint with the police department for that.
Well, we had to do that. We had to involve the police in that, which was stupid, but.
Let her speak in there if you want to say her.
No.
She's.
No, we had to do that. Like,
Did you take the signs down?
We didn't want to, because we didn't want any problems with the, person who put them up. I mean, it's one-on-one running, like, we didn't want any problems. So that's why we asked the cops to come and do it. But it just was unbelievable to see like 10 signs, like, it's ridiculous. You can have, you can vote for whoever you want, but to put it on property without permission was a bit much. And then the cops were lied to, because when they asked her why the signs were there, she said she spoke to the landlord, which she had no permission. So I just need to know, what are the rules with the signs? I've never seen that before. I've lived here over 20 years, never have I seen anybody get so crazy.
And not for nothing, but even though that person is running, there's two other names on that sign, it makes everyone look bad.
Yes, my name's on that sign.
It was very petty. Very
Well, I
petty.
apologize on behalf of people on the sign and behalf of the Republican Club. It should not have been done that way. And if the signs were not taken down, please take the signs down.
They were taken down, but it's just, I feel like our cops got better stuff to do than come here and that.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
there was no reason, like, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to have somebody on the city council acting like that, you all might want to think twice. You know, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I